All right. Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome to the Monday Blues Round 9 preview of the Saints and Blues tomorrow night at the MCG Spuds game. I am joined here by the Mus himself and George over here. We've got a few outs, which we'll get into shortly, just temporary, of course. But shout out to everyone in the chat. We did say we'd go live at halftime during the Dockers and the Filth game. So thank you for joining us. Hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe to us. Helps us out. And yeah, keen to get through team selection and predictions for tonight before tomorrow's game. Mus, how are you, bro?
What's going on? Good. Fresh, but tell you what, it's cold in here, George. You said I gave you a bit of a lookalike before. We're going to do this live, George. Yeah. What's the lookalike, bro?
I'll show you that later, but you look like you might go down to the local tobacco shop with the Molotov up.
It is fresh in here. I record.
It is a chilly one.
It is well insulated garage, but it is fresh in here, bro. Yeah, I feel like it's the Monday Blue today. Just a couple of us, eh?
It is just a couple. So I think Andy's missing out on his first ever show. He had the wisdom tooth pulled out, and he did call me earlier, and he sounds pretty rough. So he might be in the chat. So send your well wishes to Andy. Hopefully, he gets better soon, and prioritising getting to the game tomorrow. So resting up tonight. Carl was a late out, and Amal hopes all is well as well. I think his kids were wrestling, and one of them hurt himself. I think so. He's a bit of WWE
referee.
Yeah. So we go on. Appreciate the chat for jumping in. Got a couple of usual names there as well. Great to see everyone back. Look at this.
Bit of Kanye.
Looks like Kanye West with the hood on. Yeah.
I don't know if I'll take that, but thanks anyway.
It's the Kanye West. I see it a little bit. Let's talk team selection. That's been a hot topic the last few hours across our fan base. So going to share the team, go through the ins and outs. Philippou coming in for the Saints, Toby Travali going out.
You still there, Georgie?
The tank, everyone's favourite. Doherty going out. Nope. You got me?
Lost you for a bit, yeah. Oh. Got you now.
Lost me? All right. I'm back. Jasos coming in, Bin's coming in, and Francis, everyone's favourite. He's back. Sam Doherty going out, admitted after a week, and which was probably expected. Lockie Fogarty, seemingly with a minor injury, and Matt Carroll admitted as well. So interesting ins, and a couple of one interesting out. Matt Carroll for me, I think I would have thought that. Dropping him after a couple of games. I like his ball use by foot. He's, last week was a bit of a tough one for him, but no Boyd. No Boyd has been an interesting one as well. What do you make of the ins and outs, Mus?
I'm going to harp on about Motlop. What the fuck's he doing in the side, bro? Like, Carroll, give the guy a run of games. Like, he's shown something about him, right, that he can actually. Well, they'll probably do. Well, speaking of which, they've brought Bins in. So I'll bring him in for a game or two, and then out he goes again. I don't know why they don't persist, or there's any consistency with the guys that have potential, but you persist with a Motlop who evidently has had a whole heap of games and shown nothing. So I don't know. For me, Carroll was very stiff. Fogarty, a lot of questions around Fogarty. I don't think his fitness. There's big question marks around his fitness for me. Especially just playing that half-forward sort of impactful role we need out of a player like that to play that role. Very inconsistent, very hit and miss as well. So I don't know who's going to play that role with Fogarty out. I don't know if they're going to expect Francis Evans to do a little bit of that, or Jasos is going to go forward, or probably stay in the back line. I don't know. I like Bins. I like Bins coming in, but it talks to the integrity of the side. Like, just out of nowhere, they'll just bring him in, give him a game or two, and then they'll drop him again. Like, I don't know.
You're not wrong. I think, this is the run of games that's probably going to be make or break, I'd say. It's either, he goes out in a couple of weeks and they put the line through him, or he can solidify a spot, which seems unlikely, but stranger things have happened. What was really wild for me, I'll bring up the teams again. We are very tall. I'm just thinking here in the back line, if you can't do, so you got Weeders, Sauce, Haynes, Gov, and Young. Now, that's really tall.
You almost play Sauce in the forward line. Look, looking at that now, George, now that you've sort of highlighted that, you'd have to play Sauce in the forward line.
Well, obviously you have the choice because he's the versatile. I'm thinking maybe Young. Look, obviously we all heard about Charles being, a bit of a doubt last night. There was the knee knock in training with TDK. I mean, I would have thought maybe Young goes out and is named as an emergency, but maybe it's a bit of mind games. Maybe do they? Or if Charlie gets up, or if he doesn't get up, obviously Young has to then go forward, or one of the, him or JSOS. I think they persist with Sauce down back, but Young will have to go forward then, and yet you might even bring a Matt Carroll back. But yeah, it's just like a back six. Where does JSOS, Haynes, Gov, Young? It's very tall. It's quite strange. Boyd, again, not getting a look in at all. Probably one of the most concerning things for me is the fact that even still now, Moya can't get a run, can't get a look in. That speaks a lot, and there's a few question marks about him now, because if you've got, Francis Evans coming back in, I'm not saying they're like for like, but, Zach Williams out, Francis Evans comes in, Fogarty goes out, there's been a few rotations. Motlop's keeping his spot for reasons unknown. But I think that the fog out probably saved him this week. But Moya can't get a sniff. Look, I haven't watched a lot of VFL recently, but apparently he's been a bit poor in the VFL, so hasn't shown a lot. But shows a lot of question marks about him. So it's
talks are potentially there's some attitude concerns with Moya. Heard through the grapevine that potentially there's some issues with attitude, but who knows really. Who knows? The one I do like, though, is Jackson Binns coming in, George. I'm a big fan and have been asking for Jackson Binns, but knowing the Carlton Football Club, they'll probably have him as a starting as a sub.
That'll be an interesting one, right? Like, we need run and carry. We're on the G. Probably why they brought him in. Looking back at the teams really quickly again, Sauce, Binns, Lord, Evans, Cowan. Cowan was the sub last week from memory against the Crows. So you might be right, Moss. I reckon they go him or I don't think they go on Evans. Like, it'd be him or a Lord. It'd be interesting. The Lewis Young one is interesting.
I'd hate for Binns to be sub, to be honest. I'd love for him to start, and I'd love for him to get a good run on the wing, because I saw some really good passages. Yeah, saw some really good signs from him last year, but haven't seen much of him this year.
Yeah, I'm just really keen to see what they do with the back six. Love to see Binns get a whole game, let him run out at the G. I feel more comfortable with it being at the G versus at Marvel. I don't know, St Kilda are a massive bogey team for us, and they play Marvel so well. We just can't seem to beat them. But what I will say is we had half a team, was it round 24 last year, and they beat us with the last kick of the game. And I think our best is always better than theirs. So hopefully our best shows up. My brother says, get me on. I'll join live and free from the beach. He's living it up in Greece at the moment. Hope you're enjoying it. Thanks for tuning in. He's got the VPNs on. He's Chromecast it to some cafe in Greece, mate. Get us around there.
Nice. I've seen his daily Euros that he's been uploading in the sun and enjoying it. Fantastic. Just needs a few plums, I think. Plum weather. Joseph, get on the plums, mate. You'll be all right.
First week back from your trip as well, mate. How are you settling back in?
It's a struggle central, bro. Like, this weather is painful. I didn't realize how cold it was. Like, it is freaking freezing, and the mornings are real chilly. So struggling. It's going to be painful tomorrow at the G as well. It's going to be real cold, I think.
Well, it was nippy this morning, I'll tell you what.
Hmm.
So firstly, really quick, shout out to our sponsors as always as well. Globalnet Solutions Australia, get around Naz and his team at Globalnet Solutions. So any IT solutions, high quality and added value IT solutions for Australian businesses, get around Naz. So all the contact details are in our video description. And please, if you do reach out to any of our sponsors as well, do mention where you've reached out from. You've heard of them through the Monday Blues. It's really great for them to understand and see where their traffic comes from. It actually helps them to understand their marketing. So thank you to Globalnet Solutions, Mercadante, Woodfire, Pizzeria, best address in Melbourne, 123 Lygon Street. As always, $100 weekly giveaway. Weekly, which where can you get that? $100 weekly giveaway to the restaurant. Thank you to Carlos and the team. Get around our Instagram. So follow us on Instagram. On the story, there'll be a story post. Pop your prediction. Who's going to win? By how much? Anyone who gets it or closest to it wins a $100 voucher. So last week we had a bit of a tie in points, and we had to. Oh no, that was the week before. Last week we had Carlos himself win it and donate it back to everyone who tipped Adelaide. So very simple. Get in, tip. Who wins? How many points? Get yourself a $100 gift card every week. Elite Plastering Group, specialising in new and old homes, buildings, commercial, residential maintenance and repairs. Thank you, Eddie and the team at Elite Plastering Group. Cami Projects, precision framing, fixing, lockup, renovations, pergolas and deckings. Thank you to Eric and the team. YPA Zach Nasser. If you're buying, you're selling, give Zach a call. Details are in our video description. Res Homes, thank you to Rules as well. High-end builder specialising in architectural homes, developments, renovations, extensions and multi-units. The Bottle of Pascavale, our own Andy himself, your favourite local. Go in, say F Collingwood, say the full word, you get 10% off. Can't get that anywhere else. And Damo Finance, of course, personal loans, assets and equipment finance and business loans. Thank you to Johnny from Damo Finance. Give him a call for all your finance needs. So sharing a couple of comments from the chat. You've been keeping up with the chat there. It's going off. So, hey, guys. Hey, Oz. Great to see you as always, mate. Hope you're well. There he is. He's in the chat himself. Andy, recovering from wisdom tooth extraction. Rocco, shout out to you, mate. Hope you're well. JSOS is pretty much in all Australian form. It would be insanity if we move him from defence. Oh, he's a great lockdown defender. He's been doing really well. So we got here. Chef Jack, always good to see you, mate. Forget Moya, he does not look interested. Yeah, his forms in the VFL hasn't been great, and it'd be a real shame considering the promise that.
There's a comment there, Georgie, from the Andy himself. I agree with 50% of probably. I'm going to double down and say I agree with 99% of it being Motlop being a dud. Binns is no good. I beg to differ, and I reckon if Binns is a starter, you're going to see a different Jackson Binns, mate, and he's going to turn the game on its head.
Well, it's interesting because if you like on the wing, Akers has been way out of form, right? He's nowhere near his 2023 or 24 form. It's a bit of a chance just to light a bit of a fire under Akers and say, look, your spot's not cemented. It's not guaranteed. Although Jackson's been doing well in the twos for a long time, and there's been some, attitude problems and rumours about him as well. If he comes in, like, mate, we don't need all our players to be goody two shoes, nice boys, right? If he comes in, who cares if he's a see you next Tuesday? If he can play, if he can start two-way running and doing well. I know he can be a bit of a turnover merchant, but tend to see what it looks like.
Andy's still going based on what, and now I'm just going to throw out that word potential. We're potential FC, mate. Who knows? But no, it's one of those things. I just feel, I don't know, just got that gut feeling that it's his time, right? He hasn't had a real good opportunity, especially this year. He's been forgotten about. It's your time, bro. Like, this is the time. So Kilda, the G, make the most of it. I've just got this feeling that he's going to come out and have a really good game if he starts. I hope anyway. But yeah, like you said, George, Akers hasn't really done much on the wing. It's a position that we can really exploit right now. So hopefully he takes his chances.
Good call. What are your thoughts on Boyd? He's not getting a look in at all. It's an interesting one, right? You think you drop Carroll, you think, well, a Boyd is almost like a like-for-like, really good kick coming out of defence.
Yep.
And he's just not getting a look in.
Yeah, that's another one. Not sure. There's got to be something going on behind the scenes, right? You keep seeing the same people getting up. Like Evans gets up. Motlop continues to stay in the side. There's no. We've called it out 100 times. Selection integrity. It's not there, bro. Like, what do you have to do to get a good stint of games if you're a kid? Well, unless you're Motlop, then you do. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. It's very, very weird.
He's got his milestone coming up. His 50th coming up soon.
Yes. Yes, he does. Hit the like button, guys. You've been told these blokes are carrying the pod. Yes, we are.
Like the video. Do like the video.
Get around us.
So, spoke about it a few weeks ago, the theory that we're scared of the night. We've lost, I think, the last 7 or 8 night games in a row. Friday night under the lights. Like I said, I'm so much more confident at the G against the Saints than I am at Marvel. And should be a good showing. Like, it should be a big crowd actually, because again, first time we're playing Saints at the G since pre-COVID. I think it was the last time. Our fans sharp. I think we've got the second highest attendance on average in the AFL. So we'll join the 31 Saints supporters that rock up tomorrow night.
Yeah. By the way, the Mercadante giveaway is actually live on the Instagram, guys. So yeah, get your predictions in. Hopefully it's a tie again, and we can go the duck race again.
I don't mind that. Honestly,
really enjoyed that. That was really good.
Shout out Liam. 51 people watching, 20 likes. Get around it. Get those likes up. And he's calling sub 60K tomorrow on a chilly night at the G. Sweaty Goose 111 says, if we lose, does TDK 100% go, you reckon? No, he puts on a good one. And he might want to show his potential future employers, to add a little bit of an extra bonus on the contract. I reckon he might be saying, look, this is what you might be paying for. Just bump it up a bit. What are your thoughts? What do you reckon about his situation?
Who's that? Who we're talking about? TDK, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My prediction was in the group chat earlier today, bro. He does his knee and he's worth nothing.
Oh, no.
And then Pivot comes back next week, so we're good.
And then we re-sign him.
Yeah. I hope that doesn't happen for his sake or for the sake of the Carlton Football Club. But look, I don't know. Anything's possible with this club right now, right? He might come out and have a blinder. He might come out and get slapped. So I don't know. Don't know what to expect. Surely in his head, right, he's thinking, I got to come out and have a blinder. Like, I need to really get on top of this game tomorrow. So, and I hope he does for his sake and for the club. But we'll see what happens.
The longer it is going on, I'm more potentially comfortable with the thought of freeing up a lot of cap space and getting the compo pick, because the money touted, I don't think a ruckman is worth that kind of money. I know it's TDK and he's been fantastic, but he still cops a bath against a really good ruckman.
He does. How old is he, George, off the top of your head?
25, I think, from memory.
So he's not in his prime just yet. Like most ruckmen, sort of towards that 28, 27, 28.
Now's like the next 5-6 years really is where he should start to see his best footy. Get to share this from Enzo. This is an interesting one that's been doing the rounds a lot across a lot of the forums. Charlie is sore. Why are they playing him? Fully fit, he never chases, tackles, or has second efforts. I hate when people compare him to the great Cooter. I feel you, Enzo. At his best, sometimes we see him labouring around the forward line. Only every now and then you really see him start, making the defender work. It's an interesting one because we're sort of going back to that thing where, as a club, even if they're a little bit sore, do you play him? You risk him. We saw what happened late last year against the Hawks when we risked him. I personal opinion, if he's not fit, if he's not 100%, probably shouldn't go into the game playing because you got Swans, GWS, then you got the bye, of course, as well. But you want him 100% for those games as well. You got Harry in. You can. I understand it's Lewis Young, but you can throw him in the forward line. You'd rather not risk Charlie for the rest of the season, but at the same time, you hear stories in the 80s and 90s of players playing with broken ribs and fractured this and that and whatnot. And then are we too coddling as a within the football clubs? I don't know. I mean, I've never played at the elite level, of course, so I can't really talk or comment at it. But what are your thoughts on it, Moss?
It's an interesting one, especially when you talk of Charlie Kerner, right? Because he's that, Andy loves this, he's the golden child, he's protected, you can't say a bad thing about him, but you just don't know what injury he's carrying, or is he injured or is he just lazy? Like, this is the question you got to ask. Like, if you're putting on your boots and you're running out on that field, the expectation is you're giving 100. I'm yet to see Charlie give 100 ever. I don't know. Maybe someone would argue, the Coleman year and all the rest of it, or sort of his back-to-back, probably the first year, maybe. But do you get a solid, just because he kicks he's done his job, to kick 5-6 goals a game, right? I get that. But for the team, and the expectation is you chase your tackles, your second efforts, third efforts, getting the ball to the right position for the small forwards to actually capitalise as well. If you're not going to win the contest or actually take the mark, get it down to the right position on the ground as well. Those things where you just see him throw his hands up, like, I don't know. I'm not going to accept he's injured or he's carrying an injury, bro, because if he's put his hand up going, I'm ready to go out on that field, regardless of what the club says or the selection team says or whatever it is, you're going out there, you put your boots on and you're ready to go. So I don't know. That's my take on it. And if he's not fit, move over, give someone else a go.
Fair call. I think it's really frustrating seeing him put the hands up in the air and watching the defenders zoom past him, rebound out of 50. And then you see Harry work really, really hard on the wing, taking marks on the wing, taking marks at, pack marks at halfback, trying to get the ball back in there as well. So I still think Lewis Young named in the side and how tall we are, I still think it's going to be touch and go all the way till tomorrow. I know Voss was very adamant that he's playing, but I don't know. Something's, where there's smoke, there might be a bit of fire. But I
forecast rain at all?
Well, I think it's just like a lightly chilly night, but no rain. I think it's okay. It's like 18, cloudy. And Charles, haven't seen really good efforts, consistent efforts from him all year. Last year, he was doing it in patches. He was starting to do it in the second half. Like, I remember opening round, he burst out after half time and just went nuts, right? Tackling, kicking goals and whatnot. But he wasn't doing that consistently all year. Then I remember, I think he won the second time he played Kangas almost off his own boot. But even then, it wasn't like a traditional Charlie game. It wasn't since 2023, but even then, like since that final series. And I remember the absolute hype they put on this guy. They're like, oh, he's tailor-made for finals. He's the king. He's never seen a final. How do you know, right? And he crumbled under the expectation. But you saw when teams have a really good plan against him or they double team him, he struggles to combat that. So doesn't work as hard as Harry for mine. It'll be very interesting to see how he fares tomorrow.
Yeah, I second that. I can't remember last time Charlie allowed a tackle.
Who are you concerned about from the Saints? Who concerns you on their list?
Seeing Phillip who come in. I don't know why that name. I think he always does a number on us. I don't think there's an individual player bar. No, I don't know why Phillip just haunts me, that name. But I don't think it's an individual player. I think it's their game style, that clog, ugly, That's why I asked if it was going to rain, because if that was going to rain, mate, we'll just stay at home. Yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting because it's at the G2. If it was at Marvel, mate, we'd be in a world of hurt, I think. But
they play it very well.
Interesting to see what happens. Yeah, it's interesting to see what happens. I really hope it's not that congested block sort of football that they do play at the G. I think it might work in our favour a little bit, but no one in particular, really, George, that I'm sort of thinking, all right, they're going to do a number on us. What about yourself?
Wanganeen Miller, for me, probably the best kick, if not the top handful of kicks in the AFL. I just feel like he's got the potential to absolutely rip us a new one. Mason Wood usually does okay against us as well. Like
Steele in the chat from Rocco as well. Yeah, Steele does as well.
Steele. I remember like Higgins has the potential to bob up with a few of the handful, you know. But I don't know. Wanganeen Miller is that smoky that he's a really good player. Love watching him, and he has the potential to absolutely carve us. So hopefully we've got a plan. We've got a plan for him, and in general,
we don't even have a plan for ourselves, bro. We've got a plan for them.
But look, if you look at their form line, hasn't really been impressive.
No, it hasn't.
I know ours hasn't either. But you know they beat Freo at home. Freo's a bit of a dodgy side. You never know. They got smacked by the Lions and the Doggies.
Yeah.
The GWS game as well. So they've lost. What is it now? 3 of the last 4. So this spells danger for either side who can't get up for it, right? So this is pretty much September's on the line. I don't know, opposition fans will laugh at it because they're like, look where you are. But literally, this is like for both teams an absolute must win. You know, they say 8-point game, no such thing as 8-point game, but it's absolutely key and it's a must win. Yeah, sorry, you were saying?
I was going to say, you know which one? I was just sort of looking. Liam Stocker.
Yeah.
I think.
The Liam. The Liam.
Yeah, got this gut feeling that he's going to have a bit of an influential game as well. I don't know. Hope not. But
going through the chat, Anthony Gentile, Higgins, only Carlton, Jack Higgins, yeah. Peter V, Nat Sinclair Higgins, Nazaya, yep. Jack, all of them. Ross Lyon, Boredom Class 18 at the back, Park the Bus Merchant. Yeah, it's a frustrating band of footy to play against, but you're right. Rocco, Jack still always destroys Crips. Sweaty Goose, imagine it's a repeat around 24. Like I said, we had half a team.
That was painful.
They beat us with the last kick of the game. You know, we had you look at who we got in now versus we had no Sauce, we had no Gov, we had no Charlie, we had no TDK, we had no Harry, and they beat us with the last kick effectively. I still think our best is always better than theirs. On our day, is our best going to show up? So, Enzo must stop Sinclair having his way from halfback. He sets up so much play. He does it against us so well. Knowing Voss, he won't have a plan to stop that, and he hasn't. Like he sliced us up the last couple of times.
We don't have anyone that's going to go with him, though, George. That's the problem too. Who's going to go with him?
It's and this one right here, Rocco. This game will be won and lost in the coach's box. Is Voss up for the fight? Voss is not a game day tactician. Like I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Someone at the club did say that recently. Like he's a people motivator. He's a people's coach. And he's not a game day tactician. So Ross, I think if it's going to go, box to box, Ross is going to make some moves or magnets that will put it over Vossi, and we're going to rely on individual brilliance to get us over the line and just sheer will and effort. Because I think tactically he's been outcoached a few times.
A few?
More than a few. And this is it. Sinclair's allowed to do whatever he wants against us seemingly all the time. Only Carlton, interesting note, we're number 1 in the comp for contested ball and number 4 in the comp for clearances, but 17th for scores inside 50.
That's disgusting.
Is that a coaching fault or a player's fault?
That is disgusting. That's a fucking Charlie Curnow Motlop fault.
It's a mix of poor entries. Like I look at who's putting it in the inside 50, right? Love Hewitt. He usually just hacks it on the foot. Same with Walsh, hacks it on the foot. Sherr's probably our best kick inside 50 from the clearance, but even then he hasn't been consistent. He hasn't been consistent. He's had a few really good ones, but it's not happening all the time. Like some teams have got that key, get it to this bloke on the outside, let him deliver it. And we sort of rely on
Jackson Binns. Watch out.
There we go.
He's going to be the man.
Moss goes early. Sweaty Goose just goes whack. Motlop does nothing. Well, he obviously does something. He's got something on Voss, I reckon. Look, I had the benefit of the doubt. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt after last week. I'm off the train. He's got his 50th game coming up. No doubt they'll be marketing that one. The club will be marketing that one well. So obviously, not going to say anything controversial here, but we've got our they've launched a new range recently. Williams is out. Jesse's got to parade it. He's got to go hard. Get his 50th. Get some kids memberships. It seems like he's a poster boy now. Right? Like just
absolutely
focus on your footy, man. I don't know. Confidence. I don't know what it is. I really hope it works out for him. Cottrell lowers the eyes. He has. Like that's a good call. He's been good. Like his inside 50s have been much better, and all his stats have been much better this year.
But that's when you know you're in trouble, right? If Cottrell's the one that's hitting targets.
But you know what? Maybe it takes something like that to just give everyone else but we don't really have elite kicks in our team. Cripps has never been a great kick. Let's be real. Never.
Walsh and Chera was supposed to be it.
Yeah. Walsh's seem to have lost the ability of how to kick. I don't know if it's the back, but he just does this thing where he just looks down and just hacks it on the foot. So, which is, Carroll's been a fantastic, addition to the team. Hopefully you can cement a spot in the future as well, especially with Newman out. Boyd, one of the great kicks, again, can't get a sniff. So maybe it's just run and carry. Jackson Binns coming in, try something different, try and run and carry on the G and try and outrun this game. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm still confident. I still feel good that it's at the G, so I'm going to back us. But we will probably go to some predictions. So in the chat, who's going to win? Of course, it's going to be us. But how much by? And who's your BOG? And who's the leading goal kicker for tomorrow night? Don't forget, on our Instagram, the giveaway post is live. So go to our story on the Monday Blues on Instagram. Put in who wins, by how much, chance to win a $100 voucher at Mercadante Woodfire Pizzeria. Mus, throwing you.
I've tipped St Kilda, but I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. I think it's just because it's us two, George, and not really reading the room right now. And I'm going to say something I'm going to regret, but I reckon Carlton by 29 points. Fuck it.
Stop.
I know.
Everyone go back, rewind 10 seconds, witness that again.
Yeah,
lose by 29.
You know what gets it over the line for me? Being at the G is a real big one. If it was at Marvel, I'd definitely be going St Kilda. I really like the inclusion, even though there's not much integrity to it, but I really like the inclusion of Binns and Sauce. I think what they're going to bring to this side is going to be really valuable, especially for a game like St Kilda and sort of what we've done in the past, six odd weeks or 7 odd weeks or whatever it's been. So I don't know. I just got this feeling that it'll start to sort of gel a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm fucking delusional right now and it's late. It's been a long week back at work but I don't know. I just feel like Carlton by 29, George. And if Jackson Binns starts, I've got Jackson Binns as BOG. And no, I'm not getting paid by Jackson Binns for this episode. I don't know. I got this feeling about it. I don't know. It's weird. Jackson Binns, I think. And goal scorer. We're still doing goal scorer. I don't know. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. It's probably going to have to be Charlie. Charlie with 4.
On one leg, apparently. Kicks 4.
Yourself?
The Mus goes bang. I like it, mate.
That's a problem. Enzo, exactly right. If knowing Voss, Bins will be sub, so it all goes out the window and we lose by 35.
So Bins is the barometer, according to Mus. So I'm going to go through the chat. Sweaty Goose, Carlton by 4. Aiden, not feeling it. We are not winning Saints by 20 points. Hope not. Liam Romeo, Carlton by 5. BOG, Will White. Yeah, forget about Will. Hopefully you can snag a few. Only Carlton says Saints by 16. Wow, I've never tipped against us before, but the club selection this week has broken me. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's been a very questionable, not just week, it's been a very questionable year on selection. I feel like for one good one, you get a handful of what the fuck ones. So Rocco goes bag is 15 points, but I'm delusional. Anthony G, Carlton by 20, Hewitt, BOG, Harry kicks 5. Peter V, Blues by 6 points, BOG, Hewitt, goal scorer, Jack Higgins, 3 goals. Yeah, it's not every time we get someone that goes leading goal scorer an opposition, but Higgins always pops up against us. Oz, Blues by 17, BOG, Hewitt, McKay to kick 3 to 4 goals, he believes. Only Carlton says someone check Mus for a fever. Too positive, mate. Our very own Andy says Blues by 12. Weeders, BOG, Harry with 3. Oh, you know who else worries me? Fucking Wilkie. Wilkie always puts it over our forwards, man. I know the battle, but Wilkie always puts it over. Maybe just throw Young, keep him there as a decoy. Sweaty Goose reckons leading goal kicker, Francis Evans.
Yeah.
I've got no reason for this, but I feel pretty confident about tomorrow night, and I think Carlton are going to win by 31 points.
I like it.
I'm going to give Sammy Walsh the BOG. I reckon he's going to run and carry us through to a solid win. And I'm going to say Charles and Harry share 3 each. Yeah, Charles and Harry 3 each, 31 points, a reasonable win, a good win actually. I don't know why. I have no basis for it, other than it's at the G against St Kilda, who I've been speaking to a few Saints fans. There's only a handful of them, but speaking to a few of them, and they're really pissed that it's not at Marvel. I don't think they've played at the G this year yet, and I think they only played there like twice last year. So it's a bit of a foreign stomping ground for them. Hopefully we'll make the most of it. Enzo, Carlton by 11, BOG Cripps, Charlie, 0 tackles, 2 goals. This one by Andy Cooper, Sharman will diddy us with no baby oil. Cooper Sharman. Chef Jacko, Saints by 13 points, Waterboy kicks 5. So, tomorrow night.
Sorry, dude. I got to get this one up.
Yeah. Rocco.
I reckon there's going to be a generation of supporters forming a class action against the club, causing irreversible brain trauma. George, who's you referring to us?
All of us. Like, mate, Rocco, I'm with you because, you know, for a couple of decades, it's just been, trauma's the right word for it, right? And it, game day anxiety, Monday trauma, Sunday night depression, whatever you want to call it. But it is the reason why we formed. It's the reason why we formed this channel, right? Because we'd all just unload on each other in the group chat, and you get the feelings out, you have a bit of a laugh, and it sort of helps you cope and move on with it. And that's literally the basis of creating this channel. And I think the lowest of the lows have experienced them, and it makes the highest of the highest sweeter. So I can't wait to get there one day. When that day will come, I don't know. Go out and get the new AFL 26 game on the PlayStation. That'll be your closest way to get the.
That, my friend, is the irreversible brain trauma. Good.
Yeah.
It's coming out right now in real life.
Go and get the game. It's the closest way you're going to get Carlton to win a premiership in the near future. So, it's the hope that kills you. But that's
on the IG. Get your tips in. IG.
Yep.
Follow it. Jump on. Right now is live. $100 Mercadante voucher.
Spot on. I think that's it for us until the Monday review. Hopefully have a win against the Saints. Otherwise, if it's not, I'm going to fucking melt down. I'll tell you now. I need this win. I'm going. I will be with you boys. But about a couple dozen of my work colleagues are also teed up a bit of a work trip to go to the game. So I'll be maybe ducking out for a quarter and giving a couple of the Saints fans a little bit of bit of banter.
Like it.
And yeah, I really want this one. So fingers crossed. Looking forward to a good performance at the G tomorrow. Hopefully Charlie stays in. He's named. I know there's some question marks, but we'll find out tomorrow. And that's it from us tonight. I'm going to share it because Carl's not here. Our good mate Carl. Take it away, Moss.
Sick.